Hello students, today we are going to start with the first chapter of chemistry, that is matter in our surrounding. So first of all, what is matter? Matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. Means if I am taking an example of a book, if I have placed it on a table, it is occupying some space and has some mass. So book is a matter. Anything around us, whatever you observe in your environment, is a matter. For example, air, water, hydrogen, oxygen gas, sugar, sand, rock, milk, kerosene, everything around us is a matter. Why? Because they occupy space and has mass. The basic condition for something to be matter means why we call thing a matter, if it occupies a space and have mass. These are the two necessary conditions to be called a substance as a matter, is that they occupy space and have mass. The things like friendship, love, affection, hatred, good manners, thought, taste and smell are not considered matter because they do not occupy space and they do not have mass. They are just the illusionary things of our mind. Neither they occupy any space and do not have mass, so we don't consider such feelings, friendship, good manners, thought as matter. Clear? So classification of matter, how the matter is being classified. Since early times, human beings have been trying to understand their surroundings. Early Indian philosophers classified matter in the form of five basic elements. They said that matter is composed of five basic elements which were popularly called as Panch Tattva, like air, earth, fire, sky and water. According to them, everything living or non-living was made up of these five basic elements. Ancient Greek philosophers had arrived at a similar classification of matter. But modern day scientists have evolved two types of classification of matter based on their physical properties and their chemical properties. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the classification of matter based on their physical properties. So let's proceed further. So students, first thing that arises in our mind is that of what thing matter is made up of. Matter is made up of particles. What are these particles? These particles are atoms and molecules. I will give you an example. Just like our body is made up of cells, you know, plant body is made up of plant cell and animal body is made up of animal cells. Just like that, matter is made up of small particles which are known as atoms and molecules. Here you can see the structure of atom. It is spherical in shape. This is just the general structure of atom that we consider in chemistry. So atom is the smallest unit of matter which may or may not exist independently. Means this single atom can exist independently or it will combine with other atoms to form molecules or compounds. So matter is made up of particles. In the next chapter of the chemistry, we will be studying about atoms in deep, but right now you just remember this thing, that matter is made up of particles and these particles are atoms and molecules. Atom is the smallest unit of matter which may or may not exist independently. So these particles are so small that we cannot see them with our naked eyes. These atoms are very small. We cannot see these particles with our naked eyes. We need a high beam microscope to observe them. Clear? So these are very small. Let's proceed further. Now we will discuss about the characteristics of the particles. Means what are the characteristics of these particles. First of all, we will be observing some activities. Student, mind it that you don't have to write these activities in your copy. You just have to observe these activities. You don't need to write these activities in your notebook. Fine. First is to show that matter is made up of particles. This is the example I will be giving you, that matter is made up of particles. So take some water in a beaker and note its level. Dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod. The salt dissolves in the water, but the level of water does not change. This is because the particle of salt get into the space between the particles of water. This shows that matter is made up of particles. So I have told you the procedure. I will be taking a beaker. In that beaker I have put some water and I have marked the level that you can say I have taken 1 liter water in that, or you can say 2 liter water in that. When I have dissolved sugar or salt in it, you will observe that the level of water has not increased. Means if it was 1 liter, it was, even after dissolving sugar or salt was 1 liter, it has not there is no increment in its level. Why? Because that salt has got into the spaces between the particles of the water. So simply the particles of salt has got dissolved into the particles of water. This show that matter is made up of particles. I will show you here how it happened. You can see here, these blue color balls are the particles of water. Inside these particles there are some spaces, so that particles of salt has got inside these spaces and got dissolved in the water. That is why there is no rise in the level of the water. Why? Because the salt particles have got dissolved into it by getting into the spaces present between the particles. Clear? So second activity. In this activity I will show you the particles of matter are very small. You just have to observe this activity. You don't need to write this activity. What we are taking a beaker, and in beaker I have dissolved 100 ml of water, and in that I have put potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate will give it a purple color. After this, in a test tube I have taken 10 ml of solution, and in the other beaker containing water I have poured this solution into that. That also get a color but lighter than this color. This was dark purple, it has got somewhat lighter. Further, from this solution I have taken 10 ml of you can say solution, and put in the other beaker, this third beaker, which was containing some water, and its color has changed, but now it has got lighter. And further I am proceeding. You can see in this last beaker the color has lighter more. Why? This show that a very small few crystal of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water, because there are millions of tiny particles in each crystal. Means when I have dissolved potassium permanganate crystal into it, they are very small, that if I am transferring it from one beaker to another to another to another, it is still getting transferred, because it is very small, and they are enough to give color to the whole volume of water. So this shows that particles are very small. Clear? So I'll repeat the activity. Dissolve 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate in 100 ml of water in a beaker. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolved in 100 ml of water, and repeat this process 5-6 times. This shows that a few crystal of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water, because there are millions of tiny particles in each crystal. Means each crystal of the potassium permanganate consisted of millions of particles, which can be easily transferred from one beaker to another, and that is imparting color to the water. Clear? Third activity. This is the same just like the first one. You have to observe it, not to write in your notebook. particles of matter have space between them. So in the first activity, what we have taken a beaker. In that beaker we have dissolved salt, and you have seen that the level of water has not increased, it does not change. This is because the particles of salt get into the space between the particles of water. Here you can see these are the particles of water. These are present like this, and they have some spaces between them. So salt has got into these spaces. This is just a diagrammatical explanation how it has got into the spaces. You just need to analyze it. So these are the particles of water. In the particles of water there are some spaces. In that spaces the particles of salt has got embedded, due to which the level of water has not increased, and there is dissolution of salt into the water. Clear? So particles of matter are continuously moving. The best example of this is when you open a window in a dark room, you will observe when the flash of sunlight gets into the room, dust particles are moving here and there. You can observe that in that dark room. So that show that particles are always moving in a continuous patterns. So in this activity we are going to discuss about this. Take some water in a beaker and put a blue or a red ink slowly along the sides of the beaker. Means you have poured water into it and you have put some ink into it. Leave it undisturbed for few hours. The ink spread evenly throughout the water. Even if you will not stir it or you will not shake it, even the ink will spread into the whole beaker. This shows that the particles of ink are in motion with the particles of water. So the intermixing of two or more different types of matter on their own is called diffusion. Why? Because the particles of ink has got uniformly distributed throughout the water molecules. Here you can see in this beaker I have taken water and I have poured the purple ink and it is getting spread uniformly throughout this water. Why? Because particles of that ink are getting distributed in the particles of the water. Particles of matter attract each other. Let's read this activity. Try breaking an iron nail, a chalk and a rubber by hammering, cutting or stretching. The nail will require greater strength to break it, rubber will require medium strength and chalk requires little strength. Means when you are hammering them or stretching them to break them, what will happen? You know, iron will require a lot of energy to get it broken. Why? Because the particles of iron are very tightly packed with each other and they have greater force of attraction between them. That is why they need more efforts to be broken. So the particles of matter attract each other by certain forces present between them. That are the force of attraction which is present between the particles, which helps them to attract each other. So this show that particles of matter attract each other. Next, the characteristic of particles of matter. So what are the characteristics? We have seen it that matter is made up of particles. These particles are very small. The particles of matter have spaces between them. The particles of matter are constantly moving. The particles of matter attract each other. You have to go through this slide very carefully and you have to write this slide. Earlier slides in which activities were discussed, you don't need to write these activities. Only the requirement is the definition of matter and their classification and then the characteristic of particles of matter. So in the next lecture we will be taking up some important terms like Brownian motion and other classification of matter on the basis of physical properties. So kindly go through this lecture very carefully. Fine. Thank you so much.